What's your relationship with the celebrant?
Well, Kunle is like my brother. We went to the university together, and then came into journalism, and we've been together since then, since the 1980s. Yeah.
How far do you think democracy can go in Nigeria?
Well, I don't think it has gone far. I don't think we have democracy now, as far as I'm concerned. So what we're trying to do is we have a civil system, and we're trying to ensure that we go democratic way. That means that your vote will count, for instance. Yeah, but usually it does not count. You can see that you as a Nigerian, you cannot just go and run for elections. You need an army. You need a police force, to get you there. And you don't have the funds. So even if they say you are not too young to run, you don't have the means to run. That's not democracy. Yes.
So if you find yourself in a situation whereby you could actually turn things around, how can you strengthen democracy?
No. It's a process. It's what all of us will be involved in. We all know what democracy is about. And that democracy must have dividends. That our children must go to school. That we should have the right to go to an health center and get treated. That we should have some shelter on our head. That our children should not go, to bed hungry. Those are democratic, principles that must be carried out. So just staying there and saying we are spending this $1 trillion on infrastructure and we are doing very well, that's not democracy.
I think it can go a long way. We're just not really practicing democracy yet. We're only pretending to be practicing democracy. As long as our parties, our political parties, are as undemocratic as they are right now, then the truth is that it's almost like the story about the fruit from the poisonous tree. So you have undemocratic parties, and the people who emerge from those parties are also not really Democrats themselves. The truth is, right now where we are in Nigeria, most of the people who make decisions don't have trust in Nigerians. They think we don't know what's good for us. So we're not really practicing democracy. But at the same time, where we are is encouraging. We've had almost 18 years of uninterrupted democracy since 1999. And with each successive election, you're seeing people making more and more demands about what they want from the country. Build the parties and have proper parties. Parties where they really have primaries, where we are electing officials is actually an election, not a selection or an anointment, which is what we have. So for me, those are the things that will really strengthen democracy. If we can't have democratic parties, we won't be able to have democracy. The thing is, and then the second part is the rigging of elections. We know that our elections are rigged. And the truth is, as long as elections keep being rigged, the people who come in through this process know that they know how they got their votes. So at the end of the day, they don't think they owe us anything. And so that's why sometimes it's very hard for us to hold them accountable, because they're like, you can't vote me out. And that's why we see governors who spend 8 years doing very little in their states but end up retiring in the Senate. You like to think nobody in their states will vote for them. So you wonder, how did they get to the Senate? And how do they keep being re-elected into office?
It's very much a work in progress. In fact, what we have now is a mere ritual of democracy. We don't yet have genuine and deep democracy in this country. We need to improve our voting processes. We need to improve, voter education. People need to know what they're voting for. You understand what I'm saying? And then we need to protect our votes. There's still a lot of rigging and manipulation of figures. So that's why I said that our democracy is still, a work in progress.
So according to what you said inside about how Nigerians are lacking, or how the country are lacking rather, do you think once you are in that position, you would make things right according
One of the first things I'll do as president of Nigeria is to move for an executive bill that will make voting compulsory. Every citizen of Nigeria must vote. This is the way to politically educate and awaken citizens. There are a few countries in the world that have compulsory voting. I am going to move for a bill that will pass a law to make voting compulsory in this country.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. You're welcome.